3 best exercises in the entire world. In this episode of the podcast, we're going to hear from 3 different fitness and health professionals to hear from them and get their hot take on what the absolute best exercises in the entire world are. Tune in and take notes.
Welcome to the CrossFit Edwardsville Community Podcast, where we hear and learn from our coaches, CrossFitters, and Glen Ed community leaders. Now, here are your hosts, Dallas and Greg.
What's up, guys? Coach G here at CrossFit Edwardsville. And if you're listening to this podcast, chances are you're a busy working professional person. You have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of demands on your time, and you can't afford to waste time when you go to the gym. You need your time to be high value, high impact, high return on investment of time. And we respect that. And that's part of what we do here at CrossFit, is giving you the most direct line of sight, the most direct path to getting the absolute most out of your workouts so you can get back to kicking butt, being an amazing spouse, parent, working professional, athlete, living your best life, looking, feeling, and performing your best, and not wasting any time in the gym. And it turns out there are certain exercises that give higher returns than others. And obviously, it depends on what your objectives are, but what's interesting is that you definitely notice certain themes emerge when you hear from different exercise and health professionals. You notice certain themes emerge in terms of which exercises are the best of the best, and they give you the most positive, fastest, most meaningful results. This episode series is designed to kind of capture the best of the best. And here are just, hearing from different professionals with different thoughts. So let's get down to it. Number 1, we'll hear from Chris Bumstead, who's a very famous bodybuilder. I believe he's a multiple-time Mr. Olympia winner. He's one of the most winning and successful bodybuilders on the planet presently. And on an episode of the Chris Williamson podcast, he shared his top exercises. And here are his absolute top 3 best exercises ever: back squats, deadlifts, and pull-ups. Back squats, deadlifts, and pull-ups. So as we look at these 3, back squats are a fantastic full body exercise for building full body strength, full body function, and full body muscle. Obviously, Chris Bumstead's key objective as a bodybuilder is to add on as much mass, as much muscle as possible. But even he acknowledges that you don't necessarily need to have a bodybuilding objective to get great results from this compound movement that strengthens the entire body with a bias to the legs. Back squats are his top choice. Number 2 are deadlifts, chiefly for the same reasons. It's a full body compound exercise that gives you full body and significant results. It helps you be strong all over, as well as developing very useful, practical, functional muscle, whether it be for a body show, a physique show, or just for being the best version of yourself so you can go out and live your best life and be active and play sports and do cool stuff in the yard and play with your kids. And then a third choice, his third best exercise ever, are pull-ups. Pull-ups are another compound full body exercise, multiple joint exercise, but this one biases to the inclusion of biceps and lats. It helps to create that V formation, a very attractive physical formation of the backside. It builds the strength and power and capacity in your biceps, other muscles as well of the shoulder girdle. And in a neat parallel, Dr. Peter Attia also has drawn parallels between your grip strength hanging from a pull-up bar as well as your longevity. But if you want to build your lats, build a strong, healthy, robust, capable back, and have a practical ability to pull yourself up and over objects, pull-ups are a great go-to for that as well. These are Chris Bumstead's top 3 best exercises. Let's now go to Josh Bridges. Josh Bridges is a CrossFitter, one of the most famous of CrossFitters, and historically, he's been a fan favorite. He's been to the games multiple times. He has a whole highlight reel full of exciting moments and events from his athletic career. And while he's now retired from CrossFit competition, he still maintains a very active presence online. And he recently spoke to his absolute favorite exercises of all time. So let's hear from Josh Bridges, CrossFitter, for his best exercises. His number 1 choice was the front squat. What benefits do we get from the front squat? Well, first of all, it strengthens the entire body, but with a definite bias to the lower body, and a special emphasis on the quads, the glutes, and then the spinal erectors. This can be very valuable for you if you want to have just very practical, useful strength. You might use a front squat-like motion when you're lowering something down to the floor in everyday life, lifting something up from the floor in everyday life, catching an object, playing a sport. Really having really strong legs and a really strong back to keep an upright posture is one of the themes that comes up a lot in everyday life. It's a very practical exercise and builds great strength and great muscle definition, muscle tone. So his top choice was the front squat. His number 2, just like Chris Bumstead said, was the deadlift. All those same benefits, the practical applicability of being able to lift from the floor, lift heavy things from the floor is a life skill that you need to have. Knowing how to lift with your legs and not your back is one of those things that our parents told us when we were growing up, and it needs to be trained in order to learn how to do it well. The deadlift, a great full body exercise for building useful, practical, functional muscle and functional everyday capacity. His third choice was an interesting one. Josh Bridges, for his third best exercise ever, he chose the devil press. If you're not familiar with the devil press, that's a combination of a burpee and a dumbbell snatch with a dumbbell in each hand. He chose this exercise because it's a full body exercise, doesn't take up a whole lot of space. It's pretty easy to do this anywhere. If you have 2 dumbbells, you can use those. If you have, I don't know, a couple of heavy books, you can use those for this exercise. You can use whatever small household objects you have. It doesn't take up a whole lot of room, so you can do this pretty much anywhere. And it's just a good full body practical conditioning builder. If you want to build endurance, stamina, conditioning, a workout involving devil presses will build that full body stamina, strength, and conditioning. It's a great exercise. So Bridges' top 3, the front squat, the deadlift, and the devil press. And finally, I'll weigh in on this. I, Coach G, a CrossFit coach, will give my 3 best ever exercises. So my first choice is all manner of squats. Do you want to have legs that look great? Do you want to have legs that perform well, that are strong to go up and down stairs, up and down hills, play sports, kick a ball, run a half marathon? Squats are a part of that solution, and they'll help you to absolutely be your best self. And when I say it, I mean all variations of squats: back squats, front squats, wall balls, goblet squats, overhead squats. All these different squat variations have their place. They all have great value, and everybody should be doing some variation of a squat, even just a body weight only squat, in order to be your healthiest and best self. My number 1 choice, all manner of squats. My number 2 choice, all manner of deadlifts as well. Sumo deadlifts, conventional deadlifts. The translation of this exercise over to everyday life is almost unparalleled, and its ability to teach a life skill that'll keep you safe for a lifetime, I think, is unparalleled as well. And for all the reasons mentioned before with Chris Bumstead and Josh Bridges, I also choose it to be one of the world's 3 highest return on investment exercises. Finally, my third choice, running. I think that running has disproportionate value. not just to be able to get out of a dangerous situation, but there's few exercises that give you quite as much of the engine, endurance, stamina building a strong, capable heart from a cardiorespiratory standpoint, building your endurance, your muscle stamina, running, whether it be short distance, long distance, flat ground, hills. There are so many different ways you can apply running, so many ways you can train running, and the benefits are so vast and so significant. I just think that it almost has no equal. So those are my top three choices: squats, deadlifts, and running. Today, we've heard from Chris Bumstead, bodybuilder, Josh Bridges, CrossFitter, and then myself, CrossFit coach, on our absolute three best exercises ever. We'll have a whole new set of exercise professionals weighing in the next episode. For now, though, we thank you guys for the gift of your time and your attention. If you have any comments, feel free to share them below. Tell us your best three exercises in the entire world. We'd love to hear from you. Love to have a meaningful conversation or debate about these things. For now, we thank you for the gift of your time and your attention, and we'll see you guys in the next episode of the podcast.